Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. And welcome to the technology show on Salam Media. It's called TechByte. My name is Faizel Patel. Inshallah, I will be in your company until about 7:30 p.m. this evening. It is just gone 2 minutes past 7 o'clock on this Sunday evening. I take this opportunity to welcome all those listening to us on the various platforms of Salam Media. It's free to air satellite decoders on this particular platform, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Facebook. Now, remember, you can interact with me by sending me a tweet on at Faizel Patel 143. You can also get me on Facebook.com/Faizel Patel. I'm on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143, and my YouTube channel has got its own YouTube handle now. So you can look for YouTube/Faizel Patel 143. Now, we do have a packed show this evening. We're going to be speaking about a number of things. We're going to be starting off, first of all, excuse me, with Meta. Sorry, frog in my throat there. So we're going to be starting off with Meta. And then we're going to go on to also WhatsApp. It's got some new features. And then we're going to be speaking about caviar. Now, if you don't know about caviar, it's not the food that you eat, but it's actually a very luxurious brand. And they did something with the iPhone, which I'm going to share with you. So a lot to look forward to. I know a lot of people are interested in the WhatsApp and also Meta. Now, for those that don't know, Meta is basically Facebook. It was called Facebook before, but they rebranded the company last year sometime and now call it Meta. Now, Meta basically is the metaverse, but Meta consists of a whole lot of companies, including Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, among others. So that's where Meta is. And I was fortunate enough this week to be invited to the Metaconnect Conference. So the Metaconnect Conference is basically like a launch of new stuff, new things that are coming out from the metaverse, and engaging with the CEO of Meta, of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. So there's a video coming up as well, actually, 3 videos coming up. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. Now, on your screen, you will see the avatar of Mark Zuckerberg. That was one of the features that they spoke about during the particular Connect conference. So let's touch on that conference. So basically, Meta has unveiled its Quest Pro virtual and mixed reality headset tailored for working professionals. So basically, to give you an idea, if you're having a Zoom meeting or if you're doing anything, it's like you're actually in that world, virtual reality. Now, the new headset unveiled at Meta's annual Connect conference on Tuesday marks a milestone for Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg's break into the higher-end market for extended reality computing new devices. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit about this, right? It is expected to hit the shelves on the 25th of October at the price of around $1,500. Now, if you convert that at the exchange rate on Tuesday last week, comes out to around 27,000 Rand. Now, it's not cheap. I mean, that's hectically expensive, right? It will offer consumers a way to interact with virtual creations overlaid onto a fully color view of the physical world around them. So let me give you an example, right? So you like dinosaurs, or you like a whole lot of other stuff like golfing or cricket, or maybe you can't be at the World Cup, or maybe you got your company is based in Australia and you can't be there. This particular headset will create an environment that you are actually in that environment. We're seeing the basic stuff of it at the moment, but this is like next level. So that's one of the things that I spoke about. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my engineer to play the promo video for you with regards to this particular product, which is called the Quest Pro. Check this out, guys. It is absolutely awesome. facing now. I do apologize for the music if you do not incline towards music, but that's the promo video that was shared with us from Meta. But to give you an idea, I mean, there's so much potential for this kind of a device, and I seen it or the basic version in use. Like, say, if you have a phobia of spiders, or phobia of snakes, or phobia of heights, you can actually integrate this to get over your phobia or your fear of certain things like spiders and that kind of stuff. But the whole advantage is obviously with meetings, with being virtual reality. Imagine if you haven't been, like, say, to to Mauritius, or you haven't been to the Seychelles, or you haven't been to Mecca or to Medina. Now, the idea is obviously to go there and to be there. But if you can't, excuse me, if you can't be there, this will create that alternate reality for you to give you that experience of what it's like be there. And inshallah, I mean, if it is Hajj related or whatever, inshallah, you can go there. But imagine, for those that haven't been on Hajj, and if you get and to experience what it's like to be on Hajj, you can go to the different manasik and see how it is like to be there. Inshallah, you can also be educated. So there's so much potential about it, right? And of it as well. So moving on, from there, Mark Zuckerberg also spoke about a whole lot of new other stuff, new social experiences in virtual reality and beyond everything. He spoke about values. He spoke about the reality of things. I mean, we are living in such technologically marvel time. It is absolutely amazing. Now, during the end or towards the end of the launch, Mark Zuckerberg spoke about two values that Meta is promoting. So the values he's speaking about, he said that Meta deeply believes in two values that people can expect Meta to bring to their work. Now, you can't tell me that you're not using Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or even WhatsApp, because you're using all these things, right? And he spoke about these values. Now, Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, my personal opinion, he's a good guy. I mean, forget what happened in his early Facebook years and everything, but a lot of people use Facebook. I'm a lot on Facebook. I'm a lot on Insta. And I also spoke about Instagram Reels, I think, a few weeks ago in a past episode of TechByte. And also, we use a lot of WhatsApp. I mean, we literally on WhatsApp all the time. So let's play the first video by Mark Zuckerberg, where he spoke about the first value by Meta.
I want to discuss two values that we believe in deeply that you can expect us to bring to this work. The first is putting people at the center of everything we build. We believe that the next computing platform has the potential to be more social and more human than anything that's come before, if we build it correctly. That's why so much of what we've shown today is about improving how we connect and interact, building out Horizon as social infrastructure for the metaverse, prioritizing hardware that supports facial expressions and eye contact, creating new ways for people to meet and collaborate at work, designing new avatars and photorealistic avatars. These are things that you prioritize if you're focused on helping people connect. So while the underlying technology is pretty inspiring by itself, the reason that we're in this is because it can bring you closer to other people. This is our company's DNA. It's in every service we build. Your friends on Facebook, your followers on Instagram, your family on WhatsApp. It's always about people. And that's how we hope to build the metaverse too.
All right, so he spoke about two important things there, and I think that's very important. One is putting people first. I think that is very, very important, right? And the second thing is that he said that it brings people closer together. So let's use the example of Makkah again. So in the olden days, when when there was no cell phones, and when you went to Mecca and your family had to phone, or you had to phone back to say that you are safe and you're going and you're starting for Hajj, you have to go to a call box, put in money, and it cost you exorbitant money. Or alternatively, if you're living in South Africa and if you've got family in the United States or in India or in Pakistan or even Australia, and just to make one call could cost you hundreds of rands. But we don't realize that how close technology has brought us together. Today, you can chat with anybody anywhere in the world, not only on WhatsApp or on voice, but you can actually see them, right? How amazing is that? And I just had a joke on one of the groups the other day when I was on another station a few years back. You know, somebody that WhatsApped me and told me that technology is haram. I mean, how can we not be mesmerized and be overwhelmed by the technology that we are going through? Obviously, it has to be used in a productive, in a good manner. So you just moved to Australia, you just moved to England, you just moved to India, you just moved to Pakistan, and you're missing your family desperately. You cannot only phone them now, but you can actually see them. How amazing is that? So this is what he's speaking about in this particular video, and I think very important, bringing people closer together and also putting people first. Now he did share the second value, and I'm going to ask my engineer Sadiq to play that for you.
The second value is openness. In every generation of computing, there's been an open ecosystem and a closed ecosystem. There was Windows and Mac, then Android and iOS. Closed ecosystems focus on tight control and integration to create unique experiences and lock-in, although most of that value ends up flowing to the platform over time. Open ecosystems create value and grow through many companies working together, developers having lots of choices, and ultimately more people sharing in the upside of what is created. An interesting thing about the history of computing is that different models have won out in different periods. It's not predetermined which will be the primary one this time around. But as someone who has experience building under both models, I strongly believe that an open, interoperable metaverse built by many different developers and companies is going to be better for everyone. As you can see today from all of the different partners that we're working with, I see our role as not just helping to build this open ecosystem, but making sure that the open ecosystem wins out in this next generation of the internet. Philosophically, we've always been about building in the open. We'd rather show the progress we're making and talk about the challenges we're still working through. We don't have all the answers, because some of them just don't exist yet. We're all on this journey together. So if you care about technology and how it can help us connect, if you want to help build a world where we can all experience things that haven't been possible before, if you believe in a future where we can all do more and be more present, then I hope that you're just as excited as I am. So thank you for being a part of this journey, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay, dear viewers and listeners, so that's the Metaconnect Conference that I was part of. Very fortunate enough, I got invited by Meta South Africa to attend this particular Connect Conference. I really enjoyed it. It was about 1 hour, 36 minutes long, and you can actually check it out on the website if you missed anything, or you can go to the Citizens website at citizen.co.za, where I give a brief overview of actually what took place there. But I do have a comment that has come through on the streaming platform that I'm part of. It's by Abd Basit Bulbulia. Two comments that he made, remembering 3D TVs. Yes, I do remember 3D TVs, and will just be another Fed. That's one. The second one, he says, now open systems will be the way to go. So let's speak about the first one. Meta will just be another Fed. I think things like 3D TVs and curved TVs, yes, it was a Fed, and you're seeing many other aspects now. But virtual reality, and Meta is speaking about the metaverse on a general scale, not about only the device that they advertise, but on a general level that we connect on the metaverse on a daily basis. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people have been working from home. Some of them have gone back to the office now, but some of them are still working from home. And when they have meetings, the regular meetings, it is done in a more vibrant atmosphere, a more vibrant environment. Remember that nobody knew about Zoom before, or Microsoft Teams, or WhatsApp conference calling, and many others. Zoom has become one of the top companies for meetings, virtual reality meetings as well. And if you take that to the next level, where it's virtual reality, I mean, it will be absolutely amazing. It will be like you sitting in that office with your colleagues if you not even happen to be there. So 3D TVs was a fad, yes, and curved TVs was a fad. But remember, the technology is evolving all the time. And the second question is speaking about open systems will be the way to go. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But if you take companies like Apple, it started that closed ecosystems from the time of Steve Jobs. He didn't want no interference. He closed his systems from that time. They even used different types of screws on the Apple iPhones because they didn't want anybody to get in there. But at the same time, if you look at the iOS store, from statistics, it is the iOS store is a very, very secure store, and it doesn't allow any apps to go through. But an open system, as Mark Zuckerberg explained, and also as Abdubasit Bulbulia explains, there's a lot of potential for it, a lot of more companies to go and develop things that will make the world and the metaverse a better place. So Jazakallah to Abdubasit Bulbulia for the wonderful comments, and Jazakallah so much for tuning in. As I mentioned, if you do want to read that story, you can go to the Citizens website at citizen.co.za, and I speak about the metaverse there. And then also, if you want to watch the full keynote address or the full presentation, just check out the Meta website, and they do have it there as well in case you want to get more details. He spoke about the virtual or the reality of the avatars that's coming through. You can create avatars on your phone at the moment, and they seem real, but this just take it to a different level. And if you look at the presentation, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to stick with the Meta, and the other story that I'm coming about, speaking about is XR exhibition showcase winners of future Africa grants. Now, this is amazing because a lot of technology companies are investing in Africa. About a week or so ago, we spoke about Google, and South Africa will have the first cloud services for Google based in the country. How amazing is that? It's going to bring about $2.3 billion or increase South Africa's GDP by $2.3 billion because of this project that's going to be launched. It's going to be around 2024, I think, more or less. They said 18 to 24 months. Could be a little bit later as well, but very, very exciting. So Meta has also unveiled an exclusive extended reality exhibition featuring 6 finalists from the future Africa. Now, what does this mean? Telling stories, building world programs, focus on supporting the next generation of XR creators in Africa. So basically, to put it into simple terms, using virtual reality, using all the tools that you have available to make stories and to tell stories in a more realistic way. So if I speak about a story about malnutrition, and if I speak about other stories, what better way to express that than to actually show you what I'm doing, show you pictures of people that are going through difficulty, with the internet, that kind of stuff. So they had this competition, absolutely wonderful. Some of the experiences included Malik Afagbua from Nigeria, Kabiso Vili from South Africa, Telen Valley from South Africa, and Nirma Madhu from Mauritius. And they speak about African stories. They speak about creating perceptions of Africa. Remember, there's a lot of people in the world that got a different perception of South Africa. They think it's, especially when you speak to the Americans, when you say, hey, listen, I'm going to Africa, it's like, is Johannesburg a jungle? Or you see lions walking around? This is the perceptions that we need to change. So commenting on the future Africa, telling stories, building world programs, Moki Makura, Executive Director for Africa No Filter, added, the power of stories, right, have the potential to influence and shape perceptions about Africa. You at home can change perceptions. Not all people, not all countries are bad. And Africa has always got the bad rep sometimes, unfortunately. But we can change that perception, right? And then Sherry Zinoreva, Meta's Public Policy Program Director, Africa, Middle East, and Turkey, said the 6 talented creators from Africa across the continent have created beautiful, thought-provoking African stories and experiences using immersive technology. Again, that story is available on the Citizens website, so you can check it out there. And those are some of the people that I'm speaking about on your screen. You can see them there. There's a photo that was actually sent to us by Meta. All right, guys, let's come on to a very important story. A lot of us, and I was speaking about this earlier, even as we speak now, you using WhatsApp. I mean, even with the whole privacy issue last year sometime, and there's a whole lot of other programs or what applications that came out, whether it was, I think it's called TikTok from Turkey, I think that's the one, or, there was Telegram and many others. WhatsApp still remains one of the top messaging services in the world, not in the South Africa, in the world, right? And now they've made it easier. Now, I know a lot of people have been sending me messages with regards to, hey, Faisal, listen, man, you know what? We need to get more people onto groups. It means if you're part of a WhatsApp group, it could be only a limited amount of people. And now WhatsApp has sent me a press release, sent it to me specifically because I asked them the question. Although you will see some other people reporting on it, but I got the message directly from a WhatsApp spokesperson. So basically, what they're doing, let's go through this quickly, right? Because a very important story, especially for home industries, especially for businesses who have mailing lists and have lists or groups where you advertise your products, I think it's very, very important. So one of the many features users of social media platform WhatsApp have been craving for is the freedom to add more people to groups, right? So the limitations have more people on groups have frustrated users. A lot of people have been frustrated, while some users may be frustrated with having so many groups and receiving thousands of messages daily. Having a group with more users will suit media houses, businesses, and organizations to share information quickly to more people. That's what we basically want, right? So basically, WhatsApp has listened to you. They've listened to the people who wanted more group. They've been listening, and now they've increased the capacity for groups. So if you're a home industry, if you're a business, you can now able to increase your group. The social media giant has confirmed that it's increasing the cap on group chats to allow, listen to this, guys, just excuse me for the frog in my throat. So you can increase the cap on chats to allow 1,024 users to join a single group. So now, if you had a WhatsApp group or if you have a WhatsApp group, you can now have people on the group up to 1,024. Before it was only 512. Now, a WhatsApp spokesperson told me that one of the top requests they have consistently received is the group size does not support many real world group chats to interact on the platform. And just to quote this person, they said, think, for example, of an alumni group that want to chat in the place but cannot create a common group on WhatsApp because their class size is larger than 512. To improve this group's experience, we are testing the ability to add up to 1,024 people to the group. So they're testing the facility and hopefully it will be coming up soon. All right. So as I mentioned, this WhatsApp is just a phenomenal app, right? As of the beginning of 2022, friends, listeners, viewers, WhatsApp was the most popular global messenger app in terms of monthly active users. Data shared by Statista reveals that a whopping 2 billion users are using the app each month, spending on average 18.6 hours per month on the app. That's hectic. Imagine 18.6 hours on the app on a monthly basis. That's I mean, it's just a lot. And then also, since 2014, it has been downloaded about 6 billion times. So that's WhatsApp, dear listeners. I mean, absolutely amazing. A wonderful app. So hopefully for you listeners at home, for those that have home industries specifically, I think of the home industries and businesses and news groups and community groups. Well, 512 is gone, hopefully, inshallah, and that will come soon. 1,024 people that can now be added onto the WhatsApp group. So look out for that. If you want more details on the story, again, available on the citizen.co.za. Right, and finally, I'm coming to something that really shocked me. I did write a story and speak about the iPhone. Now, in a previous opinion piece, I wrote why I will not be getting the iPhone, and then I got the iPhone. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, Faisal, you just spoke and that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I did get it, and I did a YouTube video explaining why I got it. So check out that YouTube. But on your screen now, you see an iPhone 14 Pro, and it's called Grand Complications by Carrier. Now, what you see on that, I mean, that phone looks absolutely amazing, right? That watch that you see on both phones is called the Rolex Daytona. Now, if you know the Rolex Daytona, it's one of the most sought after watches in the world. So imagine paying 2 million Rand for the new Apple iPhone 14 Pro. That is exactly how much you wanted to fork out after the international brand of luxury smartphones and accessories Caviar announced a new makeover collection for Apple's latest gadget, right? So it's called iPhone Rolex. And they basically, what it is the new 2022 flagship got a Rolex watch built into the phone body, along with decorative sensors of a race car control panel. So if you look at the picture on your screen, I mean, it is just amazing, right? You can see it's got like gauges, like how you would see on a car, like in your car when you're driving. So that is amazing. I mean, but this watch that you see and the phone that you see cost a whopping 2 million Rand. That's a lot of money. So just to give you a quick some history before we conclude, the Cosmograph Daytona by Rolex was named after the Daytona Beach and road course in Florida in the United States. It became world famous because of the Malcolm Campbell who had just set the record speed of 200, that's a land speed record, on the 22nd of February 1933. And if you read the Citizens website, I got all the pricing and more pictures there as well. So the pricing of the model starts at around $10,320 for the iPhone 14 Pro Grand Complications, which comes out to about 2 million Rand. So, and then you have the 1 terabyte version, which is $134,200. That comes out to 2 million Rand. Absolutely astonishing. Now, if you want to read it, like I said, the voice and whatever I'm speaking about is not going to do justice. You're going to have to actually read the story. But it looks absolutely nice. But imagine spending 2 million Rand on this particular phone. I mean, it's just absolutely, it's crazy. We squeal about spending 28 or 41,000 Rand on an iPhone. Spending 2 million Rand. I mean, it is just absolutely crazy. But read that story. Kenya, as I mentioned, it is a luxury brand. I've even seen on their website where they have iPhones with the Kaaba Sharif on it. Now, I don't know if Islamically that is correct, but they do have it. So go to their website and check that out, and let me know your thoughts and comments, on my Twitter handle and the various platforms. Anyway, dear listeners, viewers, and supporters, and those that have tuned in to the show this evening, Jazakallah so much for tuning into the tech show this evening. I really appreciate the time, and Jazakallah for the feedback, especially by Basit Bulbunya for asking those questions. I hope that I've answered it, and Jazakallah for commenting and tuning into the show. Anyway, from myself and my engineer for this evening, Brother Sadiq, please do take care of yourself. Tomorrow is another long week, inshallah. May Allah SWT make it fruitful for you, make it blessed for you, and may you have a beautiful and productive week. Please do remember the Ummah in dua. A lot of difficulty going through, a lot of people that are ill, and families that are split, and families that are going through financial challenges. We make dua that Allah SWT make it easy for everybody, inshallah. So from myself and my engineer, Brother Sadiq, and to the entire management team at Salam Media, we take this opportunity to wish you well over the next week. Until next week, Sunday, fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi